Good afternoon, friends. This is Laura with Potpourri of Life. I hope that you're having a great Saturday afternoon. It's beautiful here. I was surprised at how warm the temps are right now, but I'm really grateful because the last couple days have been a little chilly. So what I'm doing today is, my husband's away, so I've been busy doing a lot of other things, and then we went to the apple farm the other day, so I thought, I'll make him a surprise. I'll make him some apple crisp of some sort. And this is not for me. I already had my apple today and I'm not really craving anything, but I do know that once in a while to make a treat like this, more so in the fall, is fun. He prefers apple pie, but I'm not quite in the mood to make a pie crust right now. So he's gonna get an apple crisp, which is actually kind of healthier because it has oatmeal in it. It'll still have sugar, it'll have butter, which is actually kind of healthy for you too. Let's see, what else will it have? And the recipe book that I'm using, this is not my own, but I do kind of twist it up a little bit. I'm using the classic Better Homes and Garden new cookbook. So everybody has this. If you don't have the cookbook, you can look online or you can just follow here and take notes. So we are going to start with, and if I spill that again, I'll be in trouble. I already spilled some sugar already, so I wasn't too thrilled about that, but life goes on. Can't cry over spilt sugar now, can we? And it was only 2 tablespoons, so it wasn't like a whole batch of sugar. So the first ingredient that we are going to do is we are going to put in all the dry ingredients into a bowl. So we are going to be putting in, let me put this up here. We're going to put half a cup of quick cooking rolled oats. And it doesn't really matter. I've made it with quick oats as well as old-fashioned, so to me it doesn't really matter. You put in a half cup of brown sugar, and if you don't have brown sugar, you mix it with some molasses, and you can make your own brown sugar with the regular sugar. A quarter cup of all-purpose flour. If I was making this gluten-free, I would use gluten-free flour, but I'm not. This is for him. We're going to use half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, quarter cup of butter that we will blend right in, and then I'm going to add maybe about 6 apples. And they do mention vanilla ice cream. I don't have a vanilla ice cream, so if he wants it, he'll have to go out and get it, and I don't think he will. He's okay with just this, I think. So let's get going with this. The oven is already heating up to 350, so we'll start with that. All right. Okay. I mentioned half a cup of the oats. I was going to have everything all measured out, but oh well. So the half a cup there. I have a tendency to put things out of the way once I get things taken care of. We're going to go half cup of brown sugar. And pack it in, folks. It's not loose like white sugar. I mean, I know that most people know that, but if you're somebody who's new at cooking, you may not know that. That's why I just reiterate that. All right, so we have that half cup of brown sugar. Next is a quarter cup of flour. And again, this is regular flour. You can substitute gluten-free if you wish. The next thing is half a teaspoon of cinnamon that I already measured out. Oops, sorry about that. And then we're going to have 2 tablespoons of sugar, regular granulated sugar. And then what I'm going to do is I have a quarter cup of butter. And I am going to put that in, and I'm going to cut it in. And if you don't know what cutting in is, you can use your fork or you can use a pastry knife to cut it in. And what this does is it makes it crumbly. But yeah, you could have it even softer if you wanted, so it would crumble faster. This I've had sitting out maybe for about 5-10 minutes, but it'll still do the job. You don't want to have it too soft, but you know, you do you, and what you do is just kind of blend this right in there until it gets nice and crumbly. And as long as your hands are washed, you can go ahead in here and just mix it up with your hands even. Once you get most of the butter all chopped up into pieces. And yes, it takes a little work, and you could do this in a mixer. I don't have a problem doing this. And I hope that you are all enjoying this beautiful weather. At least here in New Hampshire is just a beautiful fall day. The leaves are still with color. I mean, I keep opening the door. I'm kind of like in disbelief that it is actually really nice out, but it's awesome. People are working in their yards. Kids are out riding their bikes. We all know that it won't be long till the snow is here. Even the chickens were out there. I went in and checked on them, and they were out there sunbathing in a patch where there was a lot of sunshine. So that was kind of nice. But of course, when I went out there, they wanted to know what I was bringing them. I didn't bring them anything. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of make sure this is all crumbly. And it is. Perfect. All right, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I am going to be cutting up some apples. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And it's about 6 apples, and basically I am going to, my husband likes things to be chopped up fine, but I think he'll be fine with how I decide to do this. Oops, keep the knife. And I'll put the extra apple peels into this bowl because the chickens love apples. I give them an apple every morning. This here will be the skin, so I'm not sure how they're going to like it, but they'll pick at it, and then I'll go in and I'll right there run out. Oh no, that apple has to go to the chickens. So this is what I'll do because my husband likes it to be that way. Oh, excuse me. Nothing better than washing your floor and then things land on it. All right. And I really don't mind if there's a little bit of apple left on the peel. Normally I would make something with that, but I know that the chickens really like this, so they are going to be getting a treat. I will have to take the seeds out, but although they probably wouldn't eat them. I don't know, I'd have to look that up. So I don't know if you have been following my series on budgets. I hope that you have. And they're not things to make you do, or I'm not trying to insult anybody. It's just ideas on how to conserve your resources, because seriously, the way prices are for food and our other utilities and so forth, it can be stressful. But one of the nice things about that I find in baking, and yeah, it takes me time, it takes energy in terms of the gas to turn the stove on. It can be, and that can be costly, but as long as you make this once in a while and it's not every single day, and you make things in bulk as batches, it actually can be cheaper than purchasing pre-made things at the grocery store. And I don't know if you've ever bought cookies at the store that are even from the bakery aisle. And that's the one area that my husband is drawn to for the molasses cookies they sell. That's why I kind of, or the Hermits. He likes them, and so I just prefer to make them for him, because the few that he gets for the amount of money he spends, I can spend less. Now, I realize a lot of people do not have the time to cook, nor the desire. And I'll be honest with you, there are days that I don't feel like cooking, so I don't. That's not to deprive him. It's just that we're not big eaters. We do enjoy sweets and stuff, but we don't feel like we have to have all that. So what kind of things do you like to bake? I mean, is this something that is common in your fall preps, in terms of, not preps, but your fall baking? Do you go to the farm stand? What kind of things do you make when you come home from the farm stand? The apple farms, rather. I'm hoping, I think I have enough applesauce from last year. I have to go and check that. But I do like making fresh batches of applesauce. Oh, and another thing that you can do with these peels and seeds is you can make apple cider vinegar. So if you run out, there are ways to make vinegar. I just put up my peach vinegar that I made, oh, maybe it's about a month ago now. That's all been put up, and it's all put in a jar. Now, I'm not making them really tiny. They are bite size. And I don't know if my husband will complain on the side. I think he just doesn't like big. He doesn't like the big slices. He just likes to dig in and just have a bite size when he eats stuff like this. And I certainly could have made him an apple pie. I just wasn't in an apple pie making mood. Plus something like this, I actually might run over to my neighbor's after my husband has his portion, take out what he wants to save, and maybe bring a serving over to our neighbor. It says it takes about 6 apples. I think I'm on apple number 3. I always try to make sure that I get that core piece out. And the reason is the first time I was making an apple pie, one of the comments my husband said to me, he goes, "Could you make sure that the whole core is out?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "A lot of people leave it in there." And he goes, "I hate it. It just destroys the apple pie for me." I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can take that out." That was when I was new at making pies, by the way. But it's really important to listen to those you love and others, what they like. Because if you're going to spend time making something for them, you want to make sure that it is something that they will enjoy. Plus, you want to take pleasure in making something that they will enjoy and not just be lazy about it. All right, I think I'm up to 4. Let's see, I think 2 more apples. Today what I did with an apple, I don't know if you've ever done it, is I made a salad with tuna fish and I added apples in it. And I really like that. It's you can put other things in there too, celery and stuff, and it's kind of like the end of summer type of treat, because these apples, when they come right from the farm, they taste so different than the market apples that you get at the grocers. So I hope if you are following my other videos on finance that you have some ideas, or maybe you are gaining some insight that you might not have thought of. I hope so, because it's not, what I'm sharing isn't to be insulting. It's just stuff that I've learned over the years and having to cut corners myself. Now, if you wanted to make this gluten-free, sure, you can get gluten-free flours, but there's other flours out there, like say you didn't have any gluten-free flour. You could take your oatmeal and you could grind it up, and that could become a flour as well that you could use in making this or anything else. So don't be put off when you're trying to make something gluten-free for another person, because there are options out there so that they will be fine. I'm going to put one more apple in there. Yeah. As I cut this apple, I realize maybe I don't want to make the applesauce. I do have an apple core peeler. I've just not gotten the hang of it. But the reason I'm saying it is because my hands get all cramped up. It's like a little arthritic. Always has been that way, but so I don't know if I really want to do that. But if I can find a good deal on apples, and right now apples are not as cost effective as they used to be, but even still, they're healthier than some other options out there. Now, I realize I talk about trying to avoid sugar a lot. I did put sugar in here. What I put 2 tablespoons, and well, let me look back here. Oh, and half a cup of brown sugar. Okay, that has sugar in it, but it doesn't have any other preservatives. You know, I realize I'm just justifying this, but as often as we eat items with sugar, it's so rare that this is not a big deal to me. And you know what? The smile on my husband's face is worth it. Oops. Yep, I think that's going to do it for apples. I want to make sure I got everything. Butter, flour, cinnamon, butter. Sometimes things call for salt and it doesn't, so I don't want to put something in that doesn't need to be there. The only thing that I was thinking about doing is putting in some homemade vanilla. And I still might do that. It just gives it a little bit of extra love. So I do make my own vanilla, and I'm actually at the point where I need to take it out of the big bottle and put it into smaller bottles again. Just haven't done it yet. And even if you don't, it's okay that you don't. Like, this is one that my husband prefers. I usually use vodka in most of mine. He likes to have rum in his. And since this is his, I am going to use is vanilla. And all I'm doing is, it's not part of the recipe to put vanilla in. I have a tendency for sweets to actually put vanilla in. And you just mix it in just like you were with the butter and stuff. I mean, you're not putting it in, you're just kind of mixing it in with it. Obviously, I can't talk and cook at the same time sometimes. All right, so we got all the apples in here, and then I'm gonna just put this crispy stuff, well, it will be crispy. And what happens is after you bake it, it gets a nice brown coating on it. But try to spread it out a little bit so that all the apples are covered. Not all of them will be covered, but you can try. And what we do now is we put it in the oven for 45 to 55 minutes. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that I'll put it in for the shortest time first. Put it in for the shortest time and then check it. So I may come back and I'll check it at 40 minutes even. And if it's done, it's done. And then I just let it sit and let it kind of get cooled down. And hopefully by the time it's done, let's see, what time is it? Yeah, hopefully by the time it's done, he'll be coming home. So, and I know that he'll like it. So I'll be back to show you it. And I hope that you're having, I truly, truly hope that you are taking advantage of this gorgeous day that's out there. And if not, sitting by the sun in your house or whatever, reading a good book or whatever it is that you're going to do. Hey, I wanted to show you one thing. One of the things that I am working on, remember that fabric that I got? I got 2 1-yard pieces. I'm thinking, I haven't figured out exactly, but I have this shirt that I picked up at a thrift store a long time ago. It's oversized for me, like a lot oversized. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if it's the same type of red that's in the fabric. So I have something in mind. So we'll see what happens. So that's what I'm going to be doing while I wait for this to cook. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi friends, this is Laura with Potpourri of Life, and guess what came out of the oven a few minutes ago? I ended up doing it for, because it said about 45 minutes, I believe it was. I let it stay in there for another 8 minutes, and then it was done. So I'm going to bring this over to you, and I'm going to show you. That's what it looks like. It's not drippy, drainy, or anything else. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put some, never mind, I might not. David, I'm going to call you back. Bye, David.
Bye, beautiful.
Can I call you back or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi friends, this is Laura with Potpourri of Life. I had put that apple crisp thingy into the oven, and I put it in for 45 minutes because it said 45 to 55. I didn't think it was quite done at that point, so I put it in for another 10 minutes. I took it out at 8 minutes. So it is done, and this is what it looks like. Looks pretty yummy. It smells good too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get some out on a plate. I'm going to bring some over to the neighbor, and then it'll also be ready for when my husband gets home because it won't be so hot. And I'm not sure if I'll tell my husband to make sure he brings ice cream home for himself because I don't know if he needs it, but we'll find out. So it goes in really nice. And this is what it looks like. So I know it's on Christmas plates. So those of you who are being fussy, you probably didn't even notice it until I said something. I went looking for a plate or a bowl that I could bring some over to my neighbor. All I had was a Christmas one. So that's what he gets. So that's what it looks like. And it smells really good. So hopefully my husband will like it as well, and we will see. Hey, I am so glad that you're following me. Make sure that you hit that bell so that you see more when they come up. And please know that there are some things I know you won't be interested in. Skip those, but keep that bell on so that when you see a post that is of interest, that you can like, okay, I want to make sure I see that. So, and then sorry about the glare. I'm trying to get out of that glare for you. I'm going to just do a little dance for you. Anyways, thanks. And I will be back a little bit later when my husband gets home so he can try it and give me some feedback. Talk to you soon. So my husband is now home and he gets to try the apple crisp. It's a little cool because it came out about an hour ago. So he gets to try it and he'll let you know how good, how bad, and if it's bad, I won't post this. Here you go.
Gotta do this live, dear.
It's live.
No, it isn't.
What do you think?
Give it a sec.
Give it a sec.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah? I guess you're going for a second bite. It's not too bad. So, folks, if you like, I'm sorry for the glare. It's kind of like my lighting. Once it gets to a certain time of day, it kind of changes. Honey, you're giving it a glow. Back up. Anyways, if you like that recipe and was easy to follow, be sure to try it and use up your apples and make sure they don't go to waste. Folks, I hope you have a lovely evening and a restful night. God bless.